Today, we have the story of the twins June and Jennifer Gibbons, inseparable twins, who shared an unnerving bond. They were the kind of twins who made you glance twice, even if you didn't want to. June and Jennifer. Everyone in our small town knew about them. How they moved like shadows. How they never spoke to anyone but each other. They didn't need words with us. Their silence said everything. But when they spoke to each other, their whispers felt like a private code. Something ancient. Something we weren't meant to hear. No one ever dared get too close. Not the teachers who taught them. Not the kids who sat beside them in class. Even their parents seemed to keep their distance, though no one would ever admit it. I first encountered them when I was 12. My family had just moved to the edge of town, right next to their house. Their room faced mine, and on that first night I saw them in their window, two silhouettes standing perfectly still watching me. My dad said they were harmless, just a little strange, but the way they moved, the way their heads tilted at the exact same angle, it didn't feel harmless. It was months before I spoke to them, and even then, it wasn't by choice. I was walking home from school when I felt it, the unmistakable sensation of being followed. I turned, and there they were, side by side, their steps perfectly in sync. June was the one who spoke first.
"We like your house,"
said, her voice barely above a whisper. Jennifer smiled, but it wasn't the kind of smile you'd want to see. "We've been waiting for you." I laughed nervously, trying to brush them off, but they didn't move. They just stood there watching me, their identical faces unnervingly calm. Before we continue, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Back to the story. Over time, I learned more about them, though I can't say I wanted to. They'd lived in that house their entire lives, but no one really knew them. Rumors spread about their strange games, their locked bedroom, the sounds their neighbors sometimes heard at night. One story stuck with me. A teacher claimed she once caught them scribbling on the walls of the school bathroom. When she confronted them, they just stared at her until she walked away. Later, she found the words they'd written over and over. "One must go." The night it happened, the air felt heavier than usual. I remember sitting in my room, staring out the window at their house. The lights were on in their room, and I could see them moving, their shadows flickering like ghosts. Then came the scream. It wasn't loud, but it was sharp, like the sound of something breaking. I froze, staring at their window. One of the shadows was gone. I don't know why I went over there. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was something else. But I crossed the yard, my heart pounding in my chest, and knocked on their door. It was June who answered. Her white dress was smeared with something dark, and her eyes, they didn't look like they belonged to her anymore.
"It's done,"
she said, her voice flat. Before I could ask what she meant, she stepped aside, letting me in. The house was eerily silent, except for the faint sound of dripping. She led me upstairs to their room. The door creaked open, and the smell hit me first, metallic and sour. Jennifer was lying on the floor, her face pale, her neck at an unnatural angle. There was no blood, no sign of a struggle, but she was gone. June stood over her, her hands trembling.
"She wanted this,"
she said, her voice cracking.
"We both did."
I wanted to run, to scream, to wake up from whatever nightmare this was, but I couldn't move.
"It had to be me,"
she continued.
"One of us had to stay.
One of us had to finish it." When I finally found the strength to leave, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't call the police. I just went home and locked my door, praying I'd never see her again. But the story didn't end there. A week later, their house was empty. No one saw June leave, but she was gone, and so was Jennifer's body. The room was spotless, as if nothing had ever happened. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear the whispers. They come from the window next door, the one that should be empty. And sometimes when I look out, I see her, just one silhouette now, standing perfectly still, watching me. She smiles, and it's not the kind of smile you'd want to see. That's it for today. Until next time.